Our next speaker, Varshini is a UX designer at Think Design Collaborative and is also a design mentor. Today, she joins W Summit stage to talk about how to drive adoption and engagement for SaaS products. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Varshini.
Hello everyone, welcome to W Summit. My name is Varshini and I'm a product designer at Think Design Collaborative. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about customer acquisition in the B2B SaaS product and how you can nail this from a designer's perspective. And as a product designer myself, I've had the opportunity to work with a variety of B2B products in the AI, chemical manufacturing, and supply chain industries. So if there's one thing that I've noticed, it is this, that great product alone is not enough to set you up for success. What I mean by that is your product could have amazing features, but that doesn't necessarily guarantee success. So today I want to share with you some of my insights and strategies for creating a successful onboarding experience for B2B SaaS products, which is going to be the first phase of my talk. And we'll cover everything from initial interest to sustained engagement, conversion, and beyond. And I'll share examples of companies that are doing it right. Plus, I'll also be sharing some of what I call sage advice. But first, let me tell you a story about a company called Data Boost that makes B2B SaaS products for the healthcare industry. So their product is powerful, but it can be a little intimidating for new users. In fact, when one of their potential customers first signed up for a trial, they were greeted with a wall of text and a complicated dashboard that it looked like it was designed by like a mad scientist. The customer felt like they needed a PhD just to get started. So it was like trying to pilot a spaceship with only a vague instruction manual and a banana as a control panel. So needless to say, the customer quickly lost interest and they moved on to a competitor who had a simpler onboarding process. I mean, let's face it, in today's competitive market, a confusing or overwhelming user onboarding process can quickly turn your potential customers away. So let's look at how to improve this process of onboarding, focusing on 3 key areas: sign up, credit card information, and verification. So we'll be discussing some tips implementing which you can help your users with a more smoother and a more streamlined user onboarding experience. So let's get into it. So first, let's get that sign-up form right. The sign-up process is often the first point of contact between a user and a product. Right, so this can set the tone for the entire user experience, and so many products lose potential users here. And here's what you keep in mind while designing sign-up forms. Number 1, progress steps are of a great help. Most sign-up forms consist of multiple steps, and this can help make the users feel overwhelmed and unsure of how long the process will take or how much information they will need to provide. So by including progress bars, like how Slack does it so well, like you can see here, the UI provides them with a visual indication of how many steps they need to complete and how far along they are in the process. Right. So number 2, engage them with simple forms. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, right? Well, sophistication or not, keeping it simple can make a positive first impression, and it encourages your users to continue exploring your product. Now, the simpler the form, the more clarity there is. And you're also saving their time and effort that way. So there's that. And which is why you use clear and concise instructions to help users understand what information is required of them and how to complete the process quickly and efficiently. Trust me, this increases the likelihood that the users will complete the sign-up process. And that takes me to the next one. If you can provide additional social proof, right, that's even better. By incorporating social proof into the sign-up process, like how you see HubSpot doing it here, your potential customers tend to feel more confident in their decision to sign up for your product. But keep in mind that this tip should be used in moderation. What I mean by that is too much social proof or social proof that's not relevant can be overwhelming or confusing to them. So that's it. And for number 4, ensure minimal distractions, please. Based on my research, Adobe Creative Cloud could go easy on the distractions a little bit, of like making the sign-up process a little less complex. While distractions in the sign-up process can often negatively impact the user experience, it's imperative to note that these distractions may be intentional sometimes. In order to drive revenue or to encourage users to take certain actions. But it's important for companies to strike a balance between driving revenue and providing a positive user experience, because distractions can lead to user frustration and abandonment, which is not something we want. So moving further, how are we doing with the credit cards? Now, to bluntly put it, if accessing the trial period for your product requires a credit card, be upfront about it. Now imagine going through 7 steps to sign up for your product's free trial to see you asking for my credit card details in the 8th step, which I never planned on giving you in the first place. So and Twilio does a good job doing just that. Do not surprise them with a credit card field on the sign-up form, please. Then what about delayed verification? I'm talking about the websites where you give them your email address while signing up and they ask you to verify your email. Ask yourselves if users really need to verify their email address before proceeding to your product, because it's never a good idea to force them to do it. It's just risky, because when a user leaves, there's a good chance he is distracted by another email in his inbox and never returns. Who knows? Maybe it was an ex-girlfriend's email that pulled them away. Either ways, keep the verification process streamlined and to avoid losing potential users, right? And with products like Trello, Asana, and MailChimp, email verification is not strictly necessary to get started, but these can help ensure security of the user's account and prevent unauthorized access per se. So being mindful of these steps that we discussed, right? These can result in potential users successfully getting past the onboarding phase. So then what happens next? Now the user is going to start using your product for the first time. This brings me to the second part of my talk, nailing the FTUX in B2B SaaS product space. Because not going to lie, only covering the onboarding is like capturing half the story, like a rom-com that ends with a couple finally getting together, but leaves out the happily ever after part. Right? You see, success in B2B SaaS is not just about the first date. So let's get right into it. Now that your users have been onboarded and is now going to use your product for the first time, this is called FTUX, first time user experience. And here's the thing. In the first 15 seconds of an experience, people are lazy, vain, and selfish. So basically your users are like cats. They want to be impressed, but they're not going to wait around for long if you're not delivering the goods. That's why first time user experience is so crucial. In those first few seconds, you need to grab their attention, show them the value, and make them feel like they're on the path to enlightenment. No pressure, right? So let's explore 4 tips to help you woo your users during the FTUX phase and ensure they stick around for the long haul. Number 1, skip the emptiness. I understand that for someone trying to use your product for the first time, we don't have much to show because there's no data we've collected early at this point. But still, don't show an empty screen. And what do you do instead? Provide them with templates. Why templates? That's like using pre-designed layouts, right? These can help users see the value of your product more quickly because you're editing a template, and that's going to be much more simpler than starting from scratch, because it allows your users to focus on customizing their experience rather than building everything from ground up. Sage advice, build templates based on desired outcomes and not your features. Provide a clear call to action, CTA, right? Instead of showing a blank page, try to provide a clear CTA that leads your users to the aha moment. And number three, roll out the red carpet for welcome messages. A well-crafted welcome message can go a long way in setting the right tone for a user's first interaction with your product. Like, see how Asana's doing it? They use welcome messages to introduce users to their product, highlight key features, and provide guidance on how to get started, right? Most products use this opportunity to remind users of the value of your product and how they can help you achieve their goals. Even Heap does this pretty well. You can see here, right, in this message, they do a good job of quickly conveying the value proposition, and it encourages you to take action. Now, moving on to number four, take them on a guided tour. Product tours can be incredibly effective. They're an incredibly effective way of showing your users how to get started with your product. And rather than bombarding them with all of the features available, focus on showing them what goals they can achieve. When a well-crafted product tour is out there, it can reduce confusion and increase user engagement. So keep it short, keep it sweet. No one wants to be stuck in a tutorial for hours on end. Instead, limit the tour to fewer steps, and even consider using progress bar and skip buttons, right? Users who are familiar with your product can quickly skip through the tour and get started right away. And those who need a little extra guidance can use the progress bar to see how far they've come and what they have left to learn. And while researching on this, I was looking up some well-designed product tours, and I came across this article written by Sarah Alban. You should definitely check that out. It's available on userguiding.com. Another sage advice, almost 80% of users skip product tours when there are more than 5 steps. So be mindful of that. And with that, it's a wrap. Now that you've armed yourself with these tips, you're ready to woo your users like a charming Casanova. So just remember to avoid a blank page, offer templates, say hello with a welcome message, and take them on a guided tour, not the haunted house kind. And always remember to put your users first. Because let's face it, they're the ones paying the bills. Unless you're giving away your product for free, in which case, please DM me the link. And that's about it. If you're interested in chatting further about this, don't hesitate to reach out to me on LinkedIn. And let's geek out on B2B SaaS product design together. Thank you.